Jake the Snake Roberts comes into the WWF. He's given the Snake Pit, which eventually replaces Piper's Pit, and he wears some of the weirdest stuff, like that I imagine were his genuine clothes that he came to the arena in. Was he the weirdest dresser in the locker room?
I don't remember him wearing all that stuff. He had the snake skin. He had different snake skin vests and some other stuff, but I don't remember. Not like you mean like the Grand Wizard, or somebody like that, dressing up like that.
Oh, no, I mean like in like hotels and stuff, just doing the shopping.
No, he was. In fact, he put on some weight one time, and Vince pulled him away. Was teasing him. He said, "Oh, you're Linda, his wife, is losing that Tom Selleck look. They liked him for Magnum PI and stuff like you need to cut back a little bit. You're losing that Tom. They have the mustache and everything else."
Well, you brought up the snakes in boots, so I've got to ask the snake. Where did the snake come from?
I guess different parts of the area. He may have had one or two, like a go-to snake, maybe a regular Damien snake. I don't know how many he killed, but different areas. It wasn't easy traveling with a snake the way we traveled. So the office got most of the snakes. They would go to I guess wherever the big cities there that they have the rentals. You want to rent a dog or a bear or something like that. You need for a show or that you're putting on. So they would get a lot of rentals for I remember because it was in Australia in Sydney they had one, and they got the one in Perth that got away from him. And
what? Well, you've got to tell us that story.
Well, Jake would come in the locker room, turn the big, usually we had, pretty decent locker rooms, and WWE was pretty well, decent buildings. So we'd have there'd usually be a nice shower in the, shower area, like athletic room or whatever, showers for the wrestlers of the team or whatever it was. So he'd take his snake and put it in there and turn the water on lightly and let it, just let it cool in the shower. So, and damn bulldogs came in. I think they turned on the hot water once when the snake was in there. He came in there. That was a mad snake. It was pissed off. But this one time in Perth, he did the same thing. Put his snake in the shower, turned on the water, walked off. Nobody's really watching. Nobody really paid attention unless he walked in the shower. He saw the huge python in there. So he put the snake, walked off, came back, and the snake was gone. So what? Somebody, he's fooling around. What happened? And what happened? The snake had taken off and crawled down the toilet in Perth. And they had the systems they had 2 or 3 locker rooms together. And each locker room had its own bathroom, own toilet, bathroom, series of showers or whatever. So the snake had got into the plumbing and got in one, and his head came out of the toilet in the next room. So they couldn't get the thing out of there. They couldn't get it out. Couldn't get out of the plumbing for the time for Jake's. I don't know. It might have to be before his match. I don't think he ever got it. So I don't think they could never get this. And then went back. So they left. I guess a couple of days later, somebody was sitting on the commode and the snake popped its head out. I think that'd have to be one of the biggest screams I've ever taken in my life.
Do you remember how many times he killed the snake? Because I know at least one that Jim Duggan said where he left it in the car during a snowstorm. He just forgot it was there. And Jim Duggan describes, they open the boot of the car, and Jim Duggan's 2x4 is in the back of the car, and right next to it is the snake, just as long and just as stiff and just as straight as the 2x4. So they had to ring the guy and say, "You need to send us another snake." Do you remember any other times where Jake managed to kill one?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm sure he probably did. That was a chore. That was like a Herculean feat to be carrying that snake around. I mean,
Yeah.
not to mention, putting it in your bedroom or keeping it in your bedroom. Usually we're living in motels every night. You keep it in a hotel. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be sleeping real. You know, it was in a cage or something. But lots of times you just had him in that bag.
Do you remember any time that someone got bitten by the snake or overly strangled?
No, just that time he had Macho. Well, that was the Cobra. He had the Macho Cobra by Macho. But then I guess he got he had the Jake. Jake said he had wanted him to have the snake bite him as well to prove it wasn't poisonous.
Right, so you got to tell us. And I know a few names, but who was most afraid of the snake? Who'd see it and run a mile?
Well, JYD at first, or some of the black fellows were legendary. Didn't like then JYD would have walking around with the snake, scaring other people. I'm sure there were people that didn't like weren't too crazy about the snake. It's a wrestling locker room, a lot of macho men, walking around, a lot of alpha didn't want to put the snake over too much. There was a couple guys. They don't come to mind right now, but there were a couple guys that were.
Well, I wrote a few names. Andre, Ted DiBiase said he was scared. I think Piper might have been terrified of him, and definitely Kamala.
Okay. I didn't know Piper was terrified, but it's possible. And Andre, he may have just not been in the mood.